So you've been running your business day in and day out, and things are going pretty well. Or maybe they're not, and things can be better. Either way, there's always room for us to make improvements in our business, whether it comes to branding or just our financials or just anything. There's always room for improvement. So today we are doing a business makeover. Let's go ahead and get into it. Hey y'all, I'm Ashley Janelle, and thank you so much for coming back to my channel. I'm so excited about today's topic around business makeovers. We can all use one, all of us business owners. It's really good time to take a step back and kind of audit your business. What are we doing? What's working? What's not working? What are some of those things that I've wanted to get to for a while, but I just put them on the back burner because maybe they weren't as important. But now let's go ahead and let's reel it in a little bit. Let's take some time and let's actually let's lay out some of the things that we can actually do to enhance our business, okay? So before we get into it, make sure that you are subscribed. I don't want you to miss out on any of the amazing content that I have coming up for you guys. I'm so excited about it. And also make sure you go ahead and like the video, all right? Now let's go ahead and get into it. So I have broken down all of my tips into 5 major sections. The first being productivity and time management hacks, branding and marketing, networking tips, financial tips, and work-life balance strategies. Let's start with time management hacks, okay? Let's get into it. I want to make sure that as we are moving forward in our business, maybe, we're getting the sales that we want, we're getting the traction that we want for our business, and that's great. Maybe we're not, where we want to be. Maybe we're not hitting numbers or metrics the way that we want to be hitting them. One thing that I want us to just keep front of mind is time management, okay? How are we doing things? How are we structuring our day? I've talked about this a lot in other videos, but are you creating lists? It can be a digital list, it can be a physical list, but are you creating lists that have your tasks for the day? I'm gonna go ahead and link another video where I talk about productivity just in general. It's a deep dive into productivity, but we talk a lot about lists and how we can create these lists and put our tasks at the top that are gonna take a little bit more time from us. They're gonna take a little bit more brain power to try to work through and figure out. And then we put our smaller tasks at the bottom, tasks that we can do quickly, tasks that we really don't have to think much about. And we can cross those off very easily as well. So again, are you creating lists? How are you getting through your day? How do you know what you have to do? How do you know what's outstanding? How do you keep track of the things that maybe you haven't gotten to yet? Make that list. I also want to talk to you about delegating tasks. Okay, I know we talked about this before, and sometimes us as business owners, we want to do things ourselves because maybe it takes time to delegate or it takes time to find someone to delegate the task to, and it's just easier if we just do it ourselves. But what then ends up happening is we become overloaded and nothing gets done. Okay, let me know in the comments if you are one of those people where you have just decided to take on so much that nothing gets done. I'm guilty. Okay, I'm guilty of that. Delegate your tasks. There are so many different avenues, so many different websites and platforms where you can find people who are looking to help people just like you with the things that they cannot do themselves. Okay, whether it is branding, whether it is you need a copywriter, whether it is you need an assistant, ask for help. Set aside time, block off time to figure out where do you need help the most? What are the tasks that you can delegate? What are the wins that you could achieve to where if you had someone to delegate these tasks to, you would have a huge win? Okay, think about it and think about the weight that will be lifted off of your shoulders if you did delegate those tasks. A lot of times, again, I get it. We don't like to do that. It takes time away from us and just it's too much to think about. Delegate a task today, okay? Think about it, write it down. What task are you going to delegate? Let me know. And I want us all to come away feeling a little lighter, feeling a little freer after this video, because there are certain things that we are going to start putting in place, certain systems that we're going to start putting in place to where we can focus on other things. We can focus on the trajectory of our business. We can focus on forecasting. We can focus on the longevity of running a business and not necessarily doing every single thing that needs to be done. So now let's get into branding and marketing. This is really important because this may be you or it may not be you, but oftentimes when we start businesses or when we have a business that really has just kind of snowballed into, from one thing to another, it's oftentimes a really good at this point to take a step back and say, okay, What is my branding of my business saying? Is it conveying what it is that I want it to convey? You know, maybe your business started as one thing and now it's kind of morphed into something else that's similar, but maybe not really. Is it time to change your logo? Is it time to change your website? Is it time to do the things from a visual and branding and marketing perspective that we have put on the back burner because we've said, okay, well, my clients are still coming, or people still know what it is that my company does, even though we've kind of veered off a little bit. And it's fine. I don't necessarily need to like change it. I'll change it later. I'll change my logo later. I'll change my mission statement later. I'll change my website later. I'll change all my social later. I'll do that later. This is the later. Now we're at the later. We want to make sure that we are creating cohesive brands, okay? We're doing an audit. We're doing an audit of our brand. What is your branding saying about you? Do you need a new logo? Do you need a logo? Maybe you don't have one, and maybe you want to create one because you want your brand to be more memorable. This is the time to do those things. How is your website performing? Is it something that is ranking well within the search results? Do you need to maybe optimize the SEO a bit better? Do you need to delegate that task to someone who is an SEO expert so that they can make sure that your website, the one that you took maybe time to build, or you took time to pay someone to build and put together, and maybe it's not being seen? Is this the time to actually delegate that to someone else and say, hey, I want my website to be ranking where it should be ranking in Google? This is also a time to think about your social media strategy. Are you literally just creating content on the fly and it's burning you out because you have that to do plus everything else? This is the time to take a step back and say, okay, what are some of those things that I have been maybe halfway doing or not doing at all, or it's just not happening well? It's not going well. This is the time to take a step back and say, let's do those things. Not even let's think about them. Let's think about them, and then let's think about what we need to do to fix it. Again, what do we need to delegate, and how do we need to fix our branding and our image? When people see us, do they feel the way that we want them to feel about our business? This is the time to do that. So now let's get into networking. Networking is huge, and oftentimes it's not necessarily something, depending on the business that you're in, it's not necessarily something that we think about as something that like has to happen for our business, but networking is huge. One of the things that I love about meeting new people, specifically business owners, but business owners within my same field or niche, is that I learn so much. I love the conversations, I love the camaraderie, and I feel like every time I have these conversations, I'm more inspired. I have questions that I get questions answered. I'm able to answer questions for other people. So now I have become a resource. So think about, some opportunities to grow yourself. Forget the business for a second, but how are you challenging you? Think about your role within your business, and how are you becoming a better X? So for example, if you are the owner of a company, if you are the CEO of a company, how are you becoming a better CEO? How are you becoming a better leader? How are you becoming a better owner and operator of a business? Are there conferences that you can attend that you should be attending? Are there meetups that you should be attending? Are there people that you can be connecting with? Are there mentors and coaches that you need? Are you at a point in your business where you need a mentor or a coach, or you need a new mentor and a new coach because now you're at another level, and so you need more opportunities to meet people, or you need more opportunities to learn more about how to get to the next level? Meeting people, having a coach, having a mentor, these are things that we need as business owners in order to fuel us, in order to help give us purpose and help us with our direction, and make sure that we are not just making decisions because we are head down in our business. It's time to, again, remove yourself from the business and just have these conversations and these opportunities from a general perspective, and then see what you can then apply back to your business. It's key. So now let's get into probably one of the most important aspects of any business, and that is going to be the financial aspect of your business. Obviously, this is a very important and very meticulous part of being a business owner. So we want to make sure that we are creating systems, and that we have systems in place that work for us and that also help us be better organized, things like that. So let's take a step back and let's think about, and again, this is going to be different for everyone, but as it pertains to the finances in your business, how are you doing? Maybe your business did really well last year, and now for this year, you're looking to do even better. How are you measuring that? What are you measuring that on? What are you going to do to make sure that you can, do better than you did last year? What systems are in place? How are you tracking expenses? How are you budgeting? Are you budgeting? Are you tracking your expenses? These are all things that we want to make sure that we are taking inventory on. This is an audit. We're doing an audit of ourselves and of our business. And we want to make sure that before we start anything new, that we are taking inventory of what's currently going on and we are making some changes. Are you able to find cost-saving opportunities for your business? Have you done that? Or maybe, is there a subscription that you just haven't turned off yet because maybe you haven't found an alternative, or maybe you just haven't gotten around to turning it off, but it's a subscription that's costing you every month? Is it time for you to find a new platform for your business, or new web hosting, or whatever it is? This is the time to do it. You want to make sure that you are taking inventory of what is going on and you're making some changes. And then, like I said, I would just ask you, when was the last time you revisited your financial structure? Was it when you first started the business and now that was a year ago or 3 years ago or 5 years ago? And maybe you're doing the volume of sales that you want to do, but things have changed since when you first started. So it's time to make sure that we're changing as well and we are implementing new systems. Again, going back to the networking piece, this is also a great thing that I like to talk to other business owners about. How are you handling this? Who do you go to for that? There are so many things that a lot of times we just don't know what we don't know that someone else could easily have the answer to or a suggestion for. So again, getting out, speaking to people, doing your research, making sure that you are really staying on top of your finances is really going to be key, obviously, to the longevity of your business. And then lastly, because it wouldn't be me talking about productivity if I did not talk about rest and relaxation and what work-life balance means. As business owners, again, we take on so much because that's kind of the nature of what we sign up for. We are the leader, we are the person that typically has all the answers. And that comes with a lot of stress, to be honest. It comes with a lot of stress. It comes with always being on. If I've talked about this in other videos, but if you are someone who thought that quitting a 9-to-5 and moving into doing your own thing meant more rest and relaxation, you probably realize that you work more. So how do we make sure that we are unplugging and that we are turning off and that we are getting the self-care that we need? I have a couple of tips for you. So one tip that I have for you guys is I want to really make sure that you are taking breaks, scheduling breaks throughout the day. I know it sounds easy, but oftentimes we get busy. We're in meeting after meeting, and then we have to do this, and then we have to go pick up the kids, and then we have to cook dinner. It becomes a lot. So make sure that you are scheduling your breaks throughout the day. And breaks do not mean, this is what breaks don't mean, and I have to remind myself of this too. Breaks don't mean I'm on a call while I'm also eating lunch. That's not a break. A break means that your laptop is closed or it is somewhere where you can't hear it ringing or dinging or doing anything, and that you are having your own alone time. Maybe that means that you're prepping for dinner and you're doing like mindless activity. Maybe that means that you're just scrolling, Twitter. Whatever that is, whatever a break means to you, maybe you're walking the dog, getting out of the house. That's a great break. But make sure that you are scheduling breaks for yourself. The next is one of my favorites, and this is with people, places, or things. Make sure that you are setting boundaries. I like my first boundary that I always set when it comes to work or business is calendar blocking. If I'm not available, then I will put on my calendar a hold or something that lets people know that you cannot schedule over this time. I am unavailable. Setting boundaries is going to be very, very important. Maybe that's setting boundaries with family, or maybe setting boundaries with friends. Maybe that's setting boundaries during your work hours. Like, hey, during these work hours, I am working. I know a lot of us work from home now. So a lot of times the perception is that you work from home, you are free. That is not true. So again, setting boundaries, whatever that means to you, setting boundaries financially, setting boundaries again with people, with places, whatever it is, make sure that you are setting the boundaries that you need and enforcing the things that you know you need, you just haven't done or you haven't asked for. And then lastly is just practicing self-care. Self-care for me as a business owner, as someone who has a lot of different things going on, means that when I am off, I am off. I try not to look at anything that pertains to work. I try not to, when I'm on vacation, I am on vacation. Again, that goes back to setting boundaries, but it is a form of self-care. What are some of the things that you need to do to unwind after a long day? What are some of the things that you like to watch on TV or things that you like to partake in? Make sure that you have those kind of like always on deck so that when you need those, even if it's like the middle of the day and you're like, you know what, the morning has already been a lot. I have a lot going on this afternoon and into the evening. I need an hour of mindless television, or I need an hour of, going out and getting a massage. Whatever it is, make sure that you have a running list. I like to create a list of these things too, like massages or spa days or, whatever those things are that tend to relax you, going for a walk. So when you feel like you need that, you're not sitting there like, what do I need? You can have a list that you can look at and you can pick from those different things and say, you know what, I'm going to schedule a massage tomorrow. Or you know what, I have 30 minutes. I'm going to go outside and just like touch grass, because that is very important for me right now, just to get out of the house. So make sure that you build those self-care routines and regimens into your schedule. It will totally pay off and you'll become a better business owner, a better, everything, partner, husband, wife, mom, daughter, whatever it is, you will just be better for it, because we have to make sure that we are practicing good self-care and good work-life balance. So that's gonna go ahead and wrap up today's video. I hope that you found something that was valuable. Let me know what it was. I wanna know what tips actually really resonate with you. Again, a lot of these things are simple, right? But it's like until we get a hold of ourselves and we say, I'm actually not doing that, or actually I need to do that, or why haven't I done that, or I actually need to look into that, or why am I not delegating tasks? Sometimes it's like we just need people to like bring things to our attention. That's me like all the time. So I hope that you found something within this video that is going to be helpful for you and helpful for your business. Please let me know what it is. I am so excited for the next set of videos that we have coming. So again, make sure that you are subscribed. I can't tell you how much it means to me. Yes, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.